Come on. I just woke up, and now I'm getting knocked out again. I shall inform the others. It would be rather troublesome if you started leaking here, I suppose. What if I just let it all out now? No, I don't have the guts to say that. Unable to fight against the pull of unconsciousness, Subaru's thoughts scattered, and his world faded to black once more. Oh, he is awake, sister. Ah, he is awake, Rem. It felt as though his consciousness was rising to the surface from the depths of an ocean, sluggish and heavy. The first thing that registered was the sound of two voices, soft, similar, and unmistakably belonging to the same person. Judging by how well rested he felt, he was probably lying in the same comfortable bed as before. The moment Subaru's eyelids fluttered open, they were greeted by the gentle glow of sunlight filtering through the curtains. The brightness was mild, the kind that suggested early morning. No clock in sight. No problem. That's where my patented stubble clock comes in handy. Subaru pitched the idea to no one in particular, his mind still shaking off the haze of sleep. Rubbing his chin, he gauged the length of his stubble. Judging by the feel, it had been about 4 or 5 hours since he was last awake. His body still carried a faint heaviness, but at least he wasn't completely drained. It is 7 Brighton now, sir. It is almost 7 Brighton, sir. Perhaps noticing his gaze drifting toward the window, the twin voices kindly supplied the time. 7 Brighton. Whatever that meant. Subaru had no clue how this world measured time, but based on the wording, he assumed it was around 7 in the morning. Then again, he wasn't even sure if this world used a 24-hour system. So if I don't count the first time I woke up, that means I basically slept through the entire day, huh? Not that I'm surprised. I have pulled a solid 52-hour sleep before. Sister, did you hear that? A truly lazy man's boast. Yes, I heard, Rem. Truly the words of a good-for-nothing. So, tell me, who are the 2 lovely ladies constantly stereotyping me? Subaru stretched his arms with a smirk, his voice dripping with self-satisfaction. Wait a second. His voice. It was deep. Commanding. It rumbled like distant thunder, filled with weight and power. Subaru blinked, running a hand down his throat before looking around the room. His movements felt fluid, his body somehow lighter yet stronger at the same time. Did I get taller? His gaze dropped to his torso, where once had been the soft, unimpressive body of a shut-in now rested something sculpted and defined. Where did these abs come from? Fascinated, he ran a hand over his stomach, feeling the rigid contours. He flexed experimentally. Was that muscle definition? Even though he had merely sat upright, the sheer presence of him sent a ripple through the room. The 2 maids, standing beside the bed, tensed immediately. Their fingers gripped each other tighter as they instinctively took a step back. Their expressions, ones that had once been playful and teasing, were now cautious, wary. They had expected him to wake up, sure, but not like this. At 5 feet tall, the twins weren't small, but next to Subaru, who now radiated an undeniable aura, they seemed smaller than before. They were identical, save for their differing hair colors, one pink, one light blue, and the way their bangs covered opposite eyes. But none of that mattered to Subaru. No, something far more profound occupied his mind. His gaze locked onto the 2 of them, taking in the crisp black apron dresses, the delicate white frilly headpieces. A hush fell over the room. Then, Subaru took a slow, deep breath. No way, there are maid outfits in this world. His voice was filled with reverence. Or, his declaration carried such overwhelming force that it made the air shift. The twins stiffened. This is beyond perfection, Subaru muttered, rising from the bed in a slow, calculated movement. He rolled his shoulders, enjoying the unfamiliar sensation of absolute control over his body. His hand moved to his chin, stroking the stubble like a philosopher deep in thought. Truly, I am blessed. To wake up and be greeted by such sights, if there were ever a time to believe in divine providence, this would be it. The twins' eyes widened slightly at the sheer audacity radiating from him. Oh no, I'm currently being indecently humiliated in our guest's head, sister. Oh no, I'm being violated right now in the head of our guest, Rem. But unlike before, there was no teasing in their tones, only a strange mix of unease and fascination. Subaru, in turn, gave them a look. You underestimate the boundless grandeur of my imagination, he said smoothly, lifting his arms and curling his fingers as if grasping the very fabric of reality itself. The twins shivered, and then, they did something different. Instead of throwing each other under the bus as they had before, they hesitated. Their usual banter didn't come. Instead, they exchanged glances, their hands gripping tighter. Rem, I believe we should be cautious. Yes, sister. I have a feeling he may be dangerous. Subaru chuckled, a deep, knowing sound. Oh, my dear maids. You should be cautious. He took a single step forward, and it felt like the entire room reacted to the motion. The twins flinched. Then, without another word, they turned and ran. Wise decision, Subaru mused as he watched them flee. Then, smirking, he immediately dashed after them. The room transformed into a battleground of agility, the three of them weaving, dodging, and cutting corners in a chaotic dance of pursuit. And then, knock, knock. The door cracked open. Couldn't you have woken up more quietly? Subaru halted, turning toward the doorway with slow, deliberate grace. And there she was. Long, silver hair, flowing freely in the morning light. Instead of her usual robe, she wore something different. Something darker, more refined. The skirt stopped just above her knees, revealing slender legs that were partially hidden by knee-high socks. The corners of Subaru's lips curled upward. Well, his voice came out rich, smooth. Whoever selected this attire, I commend your artistic genius. Amelia frowned, tilting her head. I have no idea what you're talking about, but somehow, I already know it's something pointless. Before she could say anything more, Subaru placed a hand on his chest, closed his eyes, and he let out a quiet, satisfied chuckle. Then, ever so slightly, he lifted his chin. Amelia blinked. For some reason, she felt an odd shift in the air. Why do you look so proud of yourself? Subaru opened his eyes, the golden glow of the morning sun reflecting off them. Because, my dear Amelia, he turned to face her fully, his presence filling the space. Right now, I should be. Amelia stared at him for a long moment. Then, finally, she sighed. I already regret checking on you. Subaru felt his heart skip a beat at Amelia's sudden appearance. Sure, the outfit was a pleasant surprise, unexpectedly perfect, even, but what really made his chest tighten was her presence. But unlike before, when he would have melted into an awkward mess, Subaru simply smirked. Something about the daylight, the warmth on his skin, the energy coursing through his body, it made him feel invincible. No hesitation, no second guessing. TCH. I should have known my radiance would summon a goddess, he said, stretching his arms lazily. You come to bask in my presence, Amelia Tan. I don't blame you. Amelia blinked. She opened her mouth, closed it, then furrowed her brows. Okay, what? What's the problem? Did I leave you speechless? That's normal, don't worry. Subaru grinned, rolling his shoulders. I do have that effect on people. Amelia stared at him for a moment, her violet eyes scanning him carefully. You seem different. Oh, noticed already? Subaru flexed his fingers, cracking his knuckles with a satisfying pop. Yeah, I feel incredible. Taller, stronger, smoother, like I woke up and decided to conquer the world before breakfast. He glanced at his hand, clenching and unclenching his fist. Not gonna lie, I might just wrestle a dragon today for fun. Right, Amelia said slowly, eyeing him with suspicion. Hold up. Subaru suddenly stepped closer, his sharp gaze locking onto her. Amelia stiffened slightly at the unexpected movement. You're staring a lot, Amelia Tan, he mused. Flattered, really. But if you keep looking at me like that, I might start thinking you've fallen for me. Amelia's face twitched. What? No, I was just, that's not. Relax, relax, Subaru chuckled, waving her off. I'm just saying, if you're that impressed, you could just say so. I won't judge. Amelia groaned, rubbing her temple. Ugh, I was worried about you, but I can see that was a mistake. Oh, concerned about me? You're full of surprises today, huh? Subaru crossed his arms, tilting his head with a smirk. What, scared I was gonna waste away without your attention? Amelia took a deep breath. I heard Beatrice might have played a prank on you while you were weak from blood loss. I came to check on you. That's all. Subaru scoffed. Might have. Oh, no, she definitely did something. That little menace tried to put me in a coma. Well, I did tell her to go easy on you, Amelia offered. Subaru gave her a deadpan look. Yeah? Well, you might want to work on your diplomacy skills, 'cause she took that as a suggestion instead of an order. Amelia sighed. Then, something seemed to click in her head. She folded her arms, giving him a skeptical look. Wait a second. How do I know you're actually Subaru? He blinked. Huh? You're acting completely different from earlier. And you look different too. She motioned vaguely at him. Taller, broader, and your voice sounds weirdly deep. How do I know you didn't get replaced by an imposter while you were unconscious? Subaru let out a low chuckle, stepping closer again. Amelia instinctively took a step back. Oh, now you're wary? He leaned slightly toward her, his golden eyes gleaming. That's cute, Amelia Tan. But if you really want proof, he suddenly grabbed her hand, lifting it effortlessly. You're welcome to check for yourself. Amelia froze. Her gaze flickered between their hands, the effortless way he held hers, like it weighed nothing. Her fingertips brushed against the firm muscle of his palm, and her face turned a shade lighter. Oh, okay. What is happening right now? She muttered under her breath. Subaru grinned. Real enough for you? Amelia yanked her hand away, glaring at him. Who do you think you are? Right now? Subaru spread his arms dramatically. A man reborn. The sun's champion. Your future husband. Stop right there. Subaru burst into laughter, reveling in the sheer chaos of her reaction. Amelia groaned, dragging a hand down her face. Ugh, I liked you better when you were normal. TCH. No taste, Subaru said, shaking his head. Amelia crossed her arms, glaring at him. You are going to go back to normal, right? Who knows? Subaru turned away, smirking. Maybe I'll stay like this. Maybe you'll fall for me like this. Guess we'll find out. Amelia clenched her jaw. I already regret coming here. Subaru simply chuckled, basking in his own magnificence. Putting aside Subaru's rather flamboyant behavior, the twins, who had been quietly observing, rushed to Amelia's side the moment she entered the room. Like a pair of synchronized shadows, they positioned themselves behind her, only their faces peeking out from either side of her shoulders. Kindly listen, Lady Amelia, Ram began smoothly. The guest has humiliated my sister. Kindly listen, Lady Amelia, Rem followed, voice dripping with false distress. The guest has held me captive and violated Rem. Subaru scoffed, standing tall as he crossed his arms. His smirk practically radiated arrogance. Ha! As if you two could ever hold me accountable. The truth is simple. I am just too overwhelming. My very presence leaves maidens breathless. My charm, my magnificence. It's simply too much for your fragile sensibilities to handle. The twins blinked. Then, without missing a beat, yes, Lady Amelia, Ram said dryly. My sister is sorry for what she's done. Yes, Lady Amelia, Rem echoed. I'm sure Rem will reflect on this. After properly admiring his own magnificence, and suffering through the twins' utter lack of appreciation for it, Subaru finally shifted his attention back to Amelia. She, in turn, was staring at him with a mix of skepticism and reluctant patience. It was the kind of look one might give a particularly excitable dog. All right, Subaru said, stretching his arms dramatically. We've established that I am, objectively, a walking miracle. But let's not get stuck on that. Amelia Tan, what brings you to my humble domain? Amelia crossed her arms. Humble? Subaru gestured grandly at the lavishly furnished room, the expensive decor, and the soft, pristine bed he had just been resting in. Well, it's not mine, but it's where I lay my head, and by that logic, it is my kingdom. Temporary as it may be. Ram sighed. If it is a kingdom, then it is one of fools. See? She gets it. Subaru grinned. Anyway, Amelia Tan, spill. Did you miss me so badly you just had to come see me? Amelia gave him a flat stare. I came to check if you were feeling okay. Subaru gasped, pressing a hand over his heart. You do care about me. I knew it. Amelia's brows furrowed. You almost died yesterday. And yet, here I stand, stronger than ever. He flexed slightly for emphasis. I was going to say that it would have been concerning if you weren't okay. Subaru smirked. And yet, you still came personally. Admit it, Amelia Tan, you were worried. Amelia hesitated for just a moment before sighing. Of course, I was. You collapsed in front of me. For once, Subaru actually paused. There was no sarcasm in her tone. No deflections, no jokes. Just a simple, honest truth. Well, he said, rubbing his nose slightly, I guess I can't make fun of you if you're gonna be that sincere about it. Amelia blinked in mild surprise. Oh, that's surprisingly mature of you. Subaru immediately straightened up, smirk returning full force. I contain multitudes. Never mind. Amelia turned away, already regretting giving him even a second of praise. Before the conversation could derail further, Rem spoke up. Lady Amelia, I believe Lord Roswall would like to speak with him soon. This Roswall guy, he finally said, crossing his arms, is he some big deal or something? The room fell into silence. Ram's eye twitched. Rem's smile became just a little too polite. Amelia, sensing danger, closed her eyes and sighed. Excuse me. Ram's voice was smooth but ice-cold. Oh. Subaru raised an eyebrow. Did I say something wrong? What, is this Roswall dude royalty or something? Should I be groveling already? Rem, still smiling, tilted her head. Lord Roswall is the most powerful noble in Lugnitsa, the owner of this estate, and the one who has graciously allowed you to recover here. Yeah, great guy, I'm sure. Subaru waved a hand dismissively. But what's he actually do? Just sit around being fancy, count coins, twirl his mustache. Both maids stiffened at the blatant disrespect. Ram stepped forward, arms crossed. Lord Roswall is this kingdom's court mage. He is a man of unparalleled wisdom and magical prowess. Rem followed suit. His very existence commands respect, yet you speak of him so carelessly, as if he were some common noble. Oh, my bad. Subaru placed a hand on his chest, bowing slightly in mock regret. Didn't realize I had to worship the guy just because he owns a fancy house. Ram's eyebrow twitched. Subaru, Amelia interjected with a weary sigh. I know you have this thing about being obnoxious, but could you not insult the person who's helping you? Subaru scoffed. I'm just saying, if this Roswall dude is so important, he should have been the one to greet me. After all, I'm the most interesting thing to happen to this mansion since, well, ever. A heavy silence fell over the room. Ram and Rem exchanged a glance. Lady Amelia. Ram's voice was neutral, too neutral. Shall we take responsibility for disciplining this guest? Rem clasped her hands together. I believe some correction is in order. Subaru raised his hands. Whoa. Is this how you treat all your guests? Shouldn't I be getting a welcome feast instead of a beating? Ram smiled, but there was no warmth in it. A beating is a welcome, for those who deserve it. Rem mirrored her sister's expression. Shall we take him outside, sister? Subaru's smirk faltered slightly. Okay, hold on now. No need to get violent. I'm just saying, if this Roswall guy is as amazing as you claim, then why hasn't he come to see me yet? He shrugged. I mean, I'm a very important guest, after all. Ram narrowed her eyes. And what exactly makes you think you are important? Subaru grinned, tapping his temple. Because I am me. And that, dear Ram, is enough. Rem exhaled slowly, as if physically restraining herself from violence. Amelia massaged her temples. Subaru, please. Can you not antagonize the people who actually work here? Subaru pouted. I prefer the term established dominance. I prefer the term stop before they kill you. Ram let out a long sigh, shaking her head. A fool with an inflated ego. How tiring. Rem smiled sweetly. Sister, if he continues speaking like this, I fear we will have to remove his tongue for the sake of Lord Roswall's dignity. Subaru gulped. You're joking, right? Neither maid answered. Right. Amelia turned toward the door. Enough of this. Let's just go. Roswall's waiting. Subaru, sensing that further taunts might actually get him murdered by the maids, wisely decided to follow without another word. But even as they walked, his smirk remained. Let them be mad. Let them be irritated. After all, what was the point of all this strength if he wasn't the center of attention? And if Roswall truly was as great as they claimed, then Subaru would just have to see it for himself. And judge him accordingly.